Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button. Trust us, it'll be worth it. Thank you. What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000, here with kind of an opinion piece, kind of a reaction, I don't know, a lot of different things. A lot of people know what's going on, or at least have seen the signs that Collider's pretty much blowing up within itself, so imploding. And I don't know, I like some of the stuff Collider does. I don't take it to heart, per se. It's just, kind of just stuff you can watch in the middle of the night when don't have anything else to do. But there's a little bit of something that John Campea released. Now, I'm not a big John Campea fan necessarily. I'm not a John Campea fan. He's there. He to me sometimes has done some backtracking in what his comments are. I think he gets a little over exuberant about certain things and then backtracks off of that. But from what I've seen and what I've heard from people about this video I'm going to look at, I think he's going to gain a lot more points in my book for standing up for something and actually putting out a concise and direct opinion on this. One thing that I've noticed with Campea occasionally is that he can kind of waffle in his opinion, or he's very soft in his opinion, and he doesn't come at it as a direct, this is what I have to say about it. He will start to go down that road, and then he kind of backs off. And I don't know, I don't know the man from anybody in the world. He may have his reasons. Maybe he's just trying to give a subjective point of view. I don't know. But we're going to kind of look at this video here in a minute, where he basically goes after Collider for something that the now owner of Collider has said. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of context here on John Campea, because I think it's important to do this. Campea started his career for Beagle Productions and later as client services director for Satellite Studios, a visual effects and 3D animation studio whose work appeared in a number of films, including Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The One, and Frank Miller's Sin City. Then after his time working as a visual effects artist, he began to work at a law firm for 3 years. In 2003, he founded the Movie Blog, a film website offering daily editorials and commentary on current movies, movie news, and the film industry. The Movie Blog eventually became a full-time occupation for Campea. In 2006, Campea, then co-host Doug Nagy, won a Bloggie for Podcast of the Year for the Movie Blog's podcast show Uncut. He quit the Movie Blog in late 2009 to focus on developing the news site for AMC called AMC Movie News, but returned for a short time in 2012. Now, with Collider, in July 2015, Campea announced that he had joined Collider, and that most of the previous web shows that aired on AMC's YouTube channel would end their association with AMC and transition to Collider's channel, with AMC Theaters remaining as a sponsor. On February 17th, 2016, Campea had announced on that day's episode of Collider Movie Talk that he had resigned from Collider and explained his future plans in the industry. Campea continued to be a guest on both Collider Jedi Council and Collider Heroes, returning as host and showrunner for Collider's Movie Talk in September 2016. However, Campea left Collider once again in July 2017, citing creative differences in the direction of the channel, to work on other projects, including his personal YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to put a link to this video down in the description box, along with, like I do a lot of guests, I'm going to put his YouTube channel and his Twitter down below, so you can kind of check him out if you want to. You don't have to. Again, I've never been a big person on John Campea, but we're going to kind of check this out and see if this kind of changes my mind. Like I said, this is kind of his reaction to Collider basically imploding from the inside. And I guess the owner, and I'm sorry I don't have his name right offhand, I guess he's basically saying that the direction or these videos that they had been doing for years was not the right way to go, and that it is what is the cause of the whole community going down, I guess. But here he is, John Campea, talking about this. So we're going to watch this now. And
these little commentary and fart joke shows, as this moron puts it, establish Collider Video as a major name. People like Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis and John Schnepp and infinite numbers of others who work their asses off to make those commentary and fart joke shows built the foundation of the playground you now get to play in.
I will say this first off, of the stuff that I have watched Campea in, I don't think that I've ever seen him so personally invested in something. I don't think I've ever seen him this animated about something already. Just seeing how he's doing this or what he's saying. This looks to be really sincere. So let's continue with this.
You get to play in the playground and in the ballpark that those people built. You insufferable, ungrateful little piece of shit.
Ooh.
You should be on your hands and fucking knees thanking whatever God you worship that those commentary and fart joke shows were around to give you a place to have the job that you gave you the opportunity to run it all into the ground. And by the way, let's talk about that for a second too.
Whoa.
Talking about this whole thing about, oh, the fans should be grateful that we kept these shows around as long as we did.
Okay, we'll pause it right here. Wow. He's obviously very heated about this, and I can understand it. First off, like I said, this is something he built the video section of Collider. He built a lot of this. He was not the person who started Collider, but he was given the reins to build it. And it takes a lot to do that. Now, I own a business. I work in sound and DJ work and production work, things like that. And I know what it means to build something. And it's obvious that he's mad because somebody's blaming people he worked with, people that he built Collider up with. That I guess Jack Hind or whoever it is, obviously is blaming these people he worked with that he knows better. He knows that they're not the problem. That's what it sounds like to me. So let's continue watching this.
And sorry that the shows you were on, Ken, that the people didn't watch them. I'll tell you what right now. As I sat back here from a distance, watching this place that I had developed and built, slowly over 2 years, run headfirst into the ground, I'll tell you what one thing I always knew was never the problem. It wasn't the talent. It wasn't the talent.
It's definitely what he's saying is that
and I would sit there all the time and go to my wife, oh my God, you should see what they're doing over there.
It's like he's saying the talent wasn't the problem. The content wasn't the problem. It's the people above. And that is the case. Too often, the top of the food chain blames everything below it for the collapse. If you don't have good leadership, you're not going to have a sound financial or business plan. And I think that's what he's worried about here. And again, he's obviously very invested in this, and he's obviously very disgusted by the fact that the wrong people are being blamed, because he knows these people and he worked in this company, and he believes wholeheartedly that the way that they had done things for years that had built them up from the ground up isn't what's wrong here. That you can't blame what made Collider for the destruction of Collider. So let's continue with this.
They're doing this to the show, and they're doing that to the show, and they did this, and they did this, and they did this, and it was never about the talent. It was never about the talent. You guys took 100,000+ view a day commentary and fart joke show and you ran it into the ground. You burned it with some of the most mind-boggling, butt-fuck stupid decisions I could possibly imagine.
Wow. Yeah, okay, so I've worked in places like this that I literally have gone off about why. Why do you do these things? What made you think that this is right? Why make this decision? I've never, again, I don't watch his content all that often, but I've never seen this man go off like this and use the language that he's using first off. I'll make sure that I make this a +18 video, I guess. We'll see about it. But wow, I mean, yeah, I feel his pain here. I really do, and I understand why he's getting this way. So let's continue.
And I have sat here for 2.5 years and kept my mouth shut about it. I've never talked about any individuals, and I still won't, other than this fool. I've never talked about it. I never brought it up, never said it, tried to be supportive, and I never spoke one bad word about any individual there. Not one bad word did I ever get on a public forum, and ever in 2.5 years did I say one negative thing about anybody there. And now you, the leader of that place, you come out here and you throw those people under the bus the day and the day after they lost their jobs and they lost their shows.
I wanted to get this guy on a stream. I will say that right now. I want to ask him, did he think that it was going to be any different? Didn't he see that? Now, it's not his fault if it happened. It's not, even if he saw it, what are you going to do? It's going to happen anyways. I would like to personally ask him, did he think it was going to be different? Did he think that they weren't going to get thrown under the bus? The writing's on the wall. You kind of expect it to happen. I can't imagine that Collider, the people who worked there, didn't see it coming and didn't kind of expect it. Now, that doesn't mean that it makes it any easier. It doesn't make it any more right. But he obviously is like a lot of people when it comes to when the upper management screws things up for everybody. It's not them that's going to be hurt. These people are going to walk away. They'll go get a different job someplace else. They'll do something else somewhere else. And they'll make their money. They'll be fine. It's the people underneath that rely on the job or they rely on the pay that get screwed. Kind of like what happened at Roseanne. When you have one person who makes a crude comment or an offhanded comment that's stupid, which Roseanne has done many times, why hold the rest of a cast of a whole TV show, the cast, the crew, hundreds of people, because it takes a lot of people to do a TV show. Why hold everybody else accountable? Because they didn't do it. When you're the head of a company, of course, you're going to hold everybody else as the problem, not you, because no matter what your choices are, no matter what you did, you're never going to admit to it yourself. So let's continue.
You spit in the face of the fans who supported this show from when it was 100,000 views a day all the way down to even after you ran it into the ground, and we're still there and we're still faithful, and you spit in their face again? Let me tell you something about this new direction you're going in, all right? Let me tell you something about where's this fucking idiotic thing this dude said. Here we go. Let's talk about this. And I wonder why Collider chose to focus on all their resources on industry professional content. Industry professional content. Slapping George Lucas's face on an actor, doing some 2007 jokes. That's professional industry content. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. And I mean this wholeheartedly. The first couple of those deep fake videos weren't just good. They were fucking great.
True.
They were fucking great.
Very true.
Make no mistake about them. They were funny and creative and whatever. And it was great. And I remember me and a couple of friends watched them like, oh my God, these are amazing. That was such a good job. Well done. And just like a rat that finds its ways through a maze. It's like, oh, that worked. Oh, let's do it again. And 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 it's getting real tired real fast.
Exactly. Don't do the same thing over and over again as far as those types of videos. I agree. I've watched quite a few of them, and it's like, okay, this is now past the point. You're just kind of getting up there and playing a part, and you don't really have any direction or any script or anything. So I agree with that.
And guess what? The novelty of this whole thing is going to wear off. And by the way, the deepfake stuff, 6 months to a year from now, every kid in their mom's basement is going to have software that can do it. There's already a bunch of other YouTube channels that are built on deepfake that do it much more successfully and better. And it's just going to become more and more dominant as more and more kids. It's going to be like in the 90s when web design used to be a big professional thing. Then every kid in the world had the tools to build websites. That's what's going to happen with the deepfake stuff.
Indeed. Absolutely. He's absolutely
And let's talk
right.
more about this professional industry content. Celebrity shit is fog. It's fog. Let's wait and see how many views. I mean, look, I might be totally wrong. We may find out that this whole Once Upon a Time in Hollywood event that they did, and I'm sure because Scott rules at this stuff, I'm sure Scott Mance knocked it out of the park. Maybe that little video will get 500,000 views. Maybe it will. I'm guessing it won't.
At least he's being honest that, hey, he may be wrong. I mean, it's kind of what I say sometimes is, hey, mark my words, this is what I'm going to say. I don't think I'm wrong, but I might be. And I give him credit again. This is I'm enjoying what he's having to say. I think he's, again, very sincere about this. So let's continue.
And look, as I said, I don't mind that the company made a decision for themselves that they wanted to go in a new direction. That's fine. But when you come out publicly and start shitting on all the work that came before, that puts you in a position that you could even do this stuff, and you shit on all the audience who, oh, you must have been stupid to watch these commentary.
I find this funny that he's saying this after being the huge proponent that he was up until the Rise of Skywalker, because he was big on The Force Awakens, that I remember. He was absolutely, totally sold on The Last Jedi when it came out. I know he backed off of that. I find it funny that a guy who is saying what he's about ready to say is saying it when he didn't think that about Disney, because that's exactly what Disney did. We're taking this in a new direction. We're going to change what was fundamentally working, the fundamentals of a property, and we are going to change it. And everybody who watched beforehand, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a white male. You're a racist. You're this. You're that. And they attacked. They tore into the fandom. I find this interesting that he's about ready to say something that he, up until Rise of Skywalker, which I haven't seen all of his information about that. I just saw the quick video he did about it right after he saw it. I will go back and see what his review of the Rise of Skywalker was. But I find this very interesting. The guy that supported the Disney new trilogy, even after what Disney and Rian Johnson and other people did to the fandom and attacked the fandom, that he's about ready basically to call Collider out for doing the same thing. Because watch this. He's going to do it. I'm okay with him doing it, but I'm surprised he's doing it and not saying the same thing about Disney. Here we go.
In fart joke shows, you spit in the face of the fans, you spit in the face of those who built a community. See, all this shit that you're trying to do right now, it's all empty calorie clicks. That's all it is. Celebrity bullshit, this deep fake nonsense, it's all great if it's just accents to your core foundation. Celebrity stuff is fine. Deep fake, that stuff can be really good if it's accents to your core foundation. And your core foundation needs to build brand loyalty, build brand identification, and build community.
Okay, so this whole video is 26 minutes long, and I'll watch all of it. I suggest you do the same, because I am definitely paraphrasing and putting in a direct part that I saw brought up. Basically, I was told to watch this part. Let's just be honest. He's mad. He's absolutely mad because something he loves has been torn apart. Again, I make the correlation to what Disney did to Star Wars, what they have done, and what now it has to be rebuilt. And basically, rebuilding it means going back to the formula that worked. And that's basically what he's calling for here. He's like, you're calling out what worked and taking it and tearing it down and spitting in the face of the fans who loved that stuff and saying they're stupid for watching and saying that that this was the wrong direction, that we should never have gone this way, whatever. And he's calling them out for basically, again, doing what Disney did. Again, I would love to have John Campea on a stream to ask him about these things. I wouldn't call him out per se. I wouldn't. I would give him hard questions. I mean, I think that he has some things he could answer as to his opinions of if he sees this in Collider, why doesn't he say this about Disney? Things like that. If he watches this video, I would love to have you on. Not about clicks, not about viewers, none of that. I personally am interested in knowing if he doesn't see the same thing in Disney as he sees right now in Collider. Now, maybe because of his close relationship to Collider, he sees it without a doubt. But this is very much what Disney did to Star Wars. I have respect for John Campea. Knowing his background, knowing where he came from, knowing the things he's done to get where he's at, I have respect for him in that way. He's an opinion columnist or an opinion YouTuber. He has a right to his opinion. Why I may not agree with it all the time, or I may disagree with it, whatever the case is. That's what opinion's about. You're allowed to have your opinion. You could be wrong, you could be right, whatever. I can't tell you you're wrong. I can just say that I don't agree. But he's right on with this. Don't blame the people who did the product that brought you there. Don't blame the fans who watched what got you there. Because that's what's going to kill you in the end. Because when you start blaming the fans, like Disney did to Star Wars fans, you start fundamentally tearing apart your foundation, what got you there. The house that you're building is built on the house that now is your foundation. And if you tear that foundation away, then the house you have is on sand and not stone. The core foundation of Star Wars fans, and I don't care who you are out there, you cannot deny those people who said, oh, these movies aren't for you. Yes, they are. They have to be for us. Because we are the foundation. We are the stone that is Star Wars fans. And Disney chipped away at it and hacked away at it and tore it apart and then blamed us for the problems and still will blame us for the failure that they did. And what's funny now is that you have John Boyega and Mark Hamill out there trolling every other person, making fun of the Rise of Skywalker, because they're all admitting to the fact that this was horribly done. And now that they're allowed to say it, they're saying it. So now what does this look like? What is happening? You're the ones that are making the problem, and that's what John's saying right here. Is Collider, the head of Collider, the people who make the decision, they're the problem. They're the ones who have point blank made the design to their own failure. Not the fans, not the people who are giving them the products that got them where they're at. If you're a YouTuber and you have thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of viewers, you eventually find what was getting you there. You find the product. And you don't tear it apart. I think you have to have variety. I think you always have to have variety. I don't think you need to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, which is what he's saying about the deep fake stuff. And he's absolutely right. You don't drive it into the ground. You have to be new. You have to be different. You have to change things up. But you can use those things in bullet point places that help grow your community. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. And don't forget, hit the bell for notifications on when we're coming out with new stuff. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it already. We're trying to get up to 800. We're at 743 right now, I think. Slowly growing now. We had some big jumps there, but we'll see if we get anything like that again coming up here. But definitely let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you think along the same lines as I do. Yeah, but definitely some interesting things to think about. So with that said, I am Chris Knight. This has been the Real Review 3000. I'm officially out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. Be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.